Are you running Boston Marathon in just over 7 weeks? Or are you running London in just over 8 weeks and you feel like you haven't done the work and you're a little bit behind? Maybe you've just been inconsistent or life threw a curveball in your way with illness or injury. Whatever your current situation, it's not too late to get back on track and hit your target time. Today, I'm going to share 6 strategies to reset your training, build momentum so you can cross that finish line strong, whether you're looking to PB or just finish comfortably and enjoy the day. This video will get you focused and hopefully get you fired up. I'm Grantham, a coach and a professional ultra runner who went from running a marathon in 4:25 to running a marathon in 2 hours and 21 and representing my country at both the marathon and ultra marathon. And more importantly for you now, I know what it's like to bounce back from imperfect training and execute a good race. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So here are 6 steps to get back on track. Number 1. Reframe your marathon, reframe the goal in your mind. Stop thinking about everything that you've not done so far and start focusing on what you can do between now and race day. This is not like cramming before an exam. We can't just write down all the stuff that we don't know and then know it and then go into the exam. We've got to get physically and physiologically ready in the next 7 to 8 weeks in order for you to arrive at the start line ready to run a race. If I've had an injury or illness and the build-up has not gone perfectly, I like to step back, look at what I can do. Okay, 7 weeks, 49 days. That's a lot of days in order to make a big difference to the race result. 56 days, 8 weeks, even more difference. Number 2, assess your starting point. Where are you at right now? What's the longest run you've done in the last 6 weeks? Has there been any speed work in the last month? What's your structure been like? Be brutally honest with yourself because this is your baseline. And knowing this will help us set realistic goals and avoid injury. Number 3, this is no joke. You've got a marathon to run in 7 or 8 weeks. That's a lot of work to do, especially if you're underprepared. Most important thing to do now is to get consistency on your side. And the way to do that is to make running a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. So what I would be doing now is getting my kit laid out the night before and making sure that it's there. And that is the first thing that I look at, first thing in the morning when I wake up. So I'm going from bed to hydrating, to running kit, to out the door. And if that means you're walking, then great. But you're doing something on a daily basis. By doing something on a daily basis, it's gonna reinforce that character, reinforce the identity of you being a runner. And if you do something on a daily basis, whether it's walking, a really light, easy run, or an interval session or a long run, if you do something on a daily basis, you're gonna make it to start line. And also, more importantly, you're gonna be confident to execute the marathon. Number 4. I'm going to come on to exactly the key sessions that you need to do between now and marathon day in order to execute that marathon race. But in order to do those key sessions and space them out evenly in the week, in between, you're going to need to embrace super light and easy running. What that's going to do for you is accelerate your recovery in between those key sessions, but also start to strengthen your muscles, your cardiovascular system, but more importantly, your tendons and ligaments. If you can get to a point where you're running 5-6 times per week, but 3-4 of those are very light, easy runs, you're accelerating that recovery, building that aerobic base, and it's gonna put you in a great position to get to marathon start line confident. Number 5, long run. So how long should your long run be before 7 weeks to Boston or 8 weeks into London? The tendency here is to try to cram. And when you're doing a physical activity like running, when you try to cram before a race, inevitably what will happen is either burnout or worse, injury. The most important thing to figure out here is, okay, what is the longest run that I have done in the last 4 to 6 weeks? If that is 8 to 10 miles, that is your starting point. And what we've got to try to do is build on that slightly, but not too much, so that we're running our race in training. And a nice little secret, a nice little hack here for you is I like to look at it like this. If I can do 15 miles or 25 kilometers in training before either Boston or London Marathon, I'm late to the build-up, but if I can do just 25 kilometers, I know that with 50,000 people running it, all those people watching, all that adrenaline and race day energy, I can do the full distance. Depending on your starting point, if you can go a step further with that, get to 15 miles or 25 kilometers and do specific segments within that run at the pace that you want to run on marathon day, again, you should be super confident in getting to that day and enjoying the day and getting the most out of it. With the long run, another little hack for you is to think, okay, what about if I'm building up to the long run being marathon day? And that is my long run. Guess what? You get to share the day with another 50,000 people. That's a pretty awesome long run. Now, if you're late to the build up and you've got 7 or 8 weeks, and let's say a small 1 week to 10-day taper, if you Google this, it will tell you to gradually build to 22 miles. If you try to do that in the next 5 to 6 weeks and then run the marathon, you're going to fall into trouble. Number 6. Now this is a bonus. And again, it depends on where you're coming from. If you've done some speed training recently within the last 4 to 6 weeks, and you can gradually implement interval sessions, then you're already a step ahead and we can already build upon that. If you've not done any speed for the last couple of months, then we've got to start really cautiously. Always think about the 5 quickest ways you can get injured. And that would be too much volume too quickly, too much of a long run too quickly, too much pace too quickly, too much speed too quickly, too many hills too quickly, or too much of a different terrain too quickly. And if you then look at your build-up between now and marathon day, we're going to raise at least 2 of those areas. And so even though we've got a short, limited build-up time, we want to go gradually. If you're coming from no speed sessions at all, or very little speed in the last couple of months, a really nice way to insert this tool and get it working for you before race day is to do longer interval reps. And that might look something like 5 times 5 minutes at the pace that we want to run the marathon in. And so it's getting used to you running over the ground a little bit faster than you've been used to, but not too much so that you're pushing yourself into that injury risk area. And over the next few weeks, the progressions from that might be 5 times 6 minutes at marathon pace, or 5 times 5 minutes again, but a little bit faster. So you can gradually move at working at marathon pace and a little bit quicker, which is going to do a couple of things for you. It's going to get you used to race pace. And if you can go faster than that in interval sessions, it's also going to make race pace, marathon pace, feel comfortable for longer on race day, which is going to allow you to enjoy more of the day. And what I like to do from here, if I have been doing a little bit of speed work and so it's not a shock to the system, I don't want to do too much before race day. So I might get that up to 12 times a kilometer with 60 seconds rest in between at 10% faster than marathon pace. So again, building quite a lot of volume, 12 kilometers, at faster than marathon pace is going to make that race pace feel easier for me. Boston and London marathons are both incredible events. So that race day energy, that nervousness, that anxiety, all those great feelings, it's a privilege to be part of that type of event. And so if you reframe it in your mindset, you're going to be able to feed off that energy and then get consistency working for you. If you are doing something on a daily basis between now and marathon start line, you're going to put yourself in a great place, not just to finish the race, but perhaps to set a personal best. Don't give yourself any excuses. You're late to the game, but we've not even kicked off yet. And if you can get in the frame of mind, like, okay, are we having this or what? Or am I going to let those excuses get the better of me again? That usually puts me in a great mindset in order to execute despite not having the perfect build-up. And that's the thing in life. When do we get the perfect build-up? And if you want to flip this to your advantage and use that marathon as a platform to go even faster in the future, then use this video as a blueprint to run your fastest ever marathon or a sub-3 marathon.